This is the SENSHI 30 post-fight recap with me, Grant Waterman, and Tim Wheaton from Beyond Kickboxing. Now, Tim, my voice is literally leaving me, and for the audience watching this, it's only a coincidence that I'm completely bald and Tim has got more hair than he deserves. But we can discuss that later on. So it's like the yin and yang of SENSHI. So, okay, Tim, enough laughter. But listen, let's just start by saying, what an event.
This young man, Zhulien Rikov. Now, you picked him on the way in, and we'll talk about that and what you saw in this young man. 19 years old, but along the way,
19 years young. Yeah.
19 years young. And he had by far the most grueling path in this tournament.
Yeah.
He fought war after war after war. Then he got extension rounds.
Yeah.
He had more war. And then he gets to the end, 7 rounds. His opponent has fought 4 minutes tonight.
Yep.
And
With 2 knockouts.
With 2 knockouts. And he goes to war once again. All of us in press row were going, well, bad news, bye. Get the press, get everything ready. Start writing it up right now. Probably a first round knockout because Zhulien Rikov can barely walk. And yet, in the end, he walked away as the country's hero. 10 grueling rounds in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, well, you're giving it away. You're fast forwarding a bit. But it's difficult to hold back talking about that young man.
Yeah.
And, okay, let's focus. The reason we were here, not the reason, but the main reason was for the SENSHI 30 welterweight Grand Prix. And we had 8 fighters in the Grand Prix with 4 fighters in 2 reserve fights. So it was a huge part of SENSHI 30, like 80% of the event. And you can't pick a winner in a tournament like this. So there's 8 fighters, 4 draws. They all fight quarterfinals. They go through to the semifinals. They fight again, and then they go through. The 2 winners of the semifinals fight in the final. And if there's any injuries or dropouts, then the guys from the reserve fights will step in. But yeah, Zhulien Rikov, the 19-year-old, we call him the babyface killer. But I said tonight, that name's gone. Because he went to deep water. And you can hear it in my voice. It's emotional.
Yeah.
Talking about it, watching him, and listen, he's already a man, but tonight he became a man.
Ooh, that's good. This was the transition.
This was the transition. Not the transition, this was the proving ground.
Yeah.
Like you say, Tim, his first fight, he fought 3 rounds. His second fight in the semi-final, he fought 3, then it was a draw and it went an extra round, 4 rounds. Then he went into the final and it went the distance. So tonight, Zhulien Rikov, the 19-year-old former babyface killer, fought 10 rounds to become the SENSHI 30 welterweight Grand Prix champion. It was like a movie.
And you know what's funny about the movie? Sorry to interrupt you there, but it felt like a movie because there was a moment where, and this is the magic of live sports, where it felt like the audience themselves were a part of the fight, encouraging Rikov on, of just willing this young man, because he was getting hit, he was taking knocks.
He took shots.
Yeah.
He was taken to the trenches of exhaustion, punishment, and like you say, to end up in the final against Bayer, who had won his 2 fights in the semi-final, a quarterfinal and semi-final by knockout, came in literally fresh.
Yeah.
And in the first round of the final, Bayer was winning the fight.
Yes.
I feel. Mainly.
He didn't break a sweat until the last fight.
Yeah, you're right. And looked strong, in shape. And I spoke to him just now, and he admitted he was outskilled. outfought and outskilled by the younger man. It was incredible. But listen, we haven't got all night to talk about this. Let's just go through our predictions.
Oh, don't. Hey, well, all right. So I picked Florin Lambaggio, and I wasn't particularly close. He lost in the first round to Konstantin Rusu, who.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Konstantin Rusu. He fights like a water snake. This guy.
Well, Konstantin Rusu, I've seen him before, and the reason I picked Florin Lambaggio was because we've spoke about it. He's a construction worker. He's strong, fit, powerful, and Konstantin Rusu, for me in the past, hasn't. It's difficult to find words to describe it, but not as strong. It almost like he hadn't developed it into a real full contact fighter.
Right.
But tonight he's another guy who made that step up to, I say manhood, but man, that guy has gone from there to there in just a few months.
Birth of another star.
Yeah.
SENSHI, because I cannot wait to see Konstantin Rusu fight next. This guy, three fights tonight. See, this is the thing, we're jumping so far.
Yeah. But I've just spoken to Rusu now. He just came. They've all listened to the commentary from the event already, and he thanked me. But I'm just being honest when I commentate on the fights. But I said to him, the only thing you're lacking is power. If he can develop some power, then he is a danger for anyone.
And in the way he fights, like, he is dodging to one side and landing a body kick with the other side. Like, he's like a Matrix style fighter. He is covering.
Yeah, he's almost like a points fighter, but with the maturity to fight full contact like this.
Yeah.
So he's got huge potential, and he could if he goes away and works. I mean, he's super fit. They said they've been working on his conditioning. Super fit. He's got technique, but he just needs that power.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, your prediction. What did you see in the young man? You picked Rikov. What did you see? You looked into his eyes.
Where are we going?
Sorry. This was your prediction for the entire tournament.
Oh.
Was Rikov. What did you see in this young man going into this event?
Well, what impressed me was when I saw him fight in Plovdiv last summer. And for such a young man, he shows so much maturity, composure, and confidence. It's like one thing he hates is being interviewed and talking on a microphone, and a lot of fighters dislike that. But when he steps into the ring, it's like he changes from a boy to a man, and he's ready for battle. He's composed. He probably is nervous, but he feeds off that energy. His father is always here to support him, so he's got that support mechanism, and he's born for this.
Yeah.
He really is born for it. And at 19 years of age, as he fills out and becomes fully mature, he's going to be a wrecking machine.
Yes.
And you watch him, he knows he's actually predictable, because you know his knees are his most effective weapon. They're dangerous, but if you step in, bosh, they're either coming up to your head or to the ribs on both sides. And I picked him. There's always luck in a tournament, whether you get injured or not.
I think luck was working against him all night. He had the toughest fight.
Yeah.
He had the toughest go of this.
But actually, listen, going 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 3 rounds, he can always go back and look at that. And he's already been in the worst place.
Yeah.
Unless he'd gone 4 rounds, 4 rounds, 4 rounds. But he's been so far in the trenches now that I think he's going to be unstoppable.
I'm so excited for the future. Okay, please go ahead here.
Let's go.
Cover the others.
So we come to our first Grand Prix reserve bout, which was Aybek Amanov from Kazakhstan versus Viktor Krashevsky.
Yep.
So I said Krashevsky was going to win.
I picked Amanov. I said the
You
Step
picked
Warrior was going to, he waves that Cossack flag so proudly. You saw him tonight, the drip that he was wearing. He had the helmet. He had the long.
Yeah.
That blew up on Twitter. People were so excited to see it. I think this was also a coming out party for this young man as well.
Really?
Well, he ended up fighting in the third place bout, losing a close decision.
Yeah.
And I also like that he's Senshi on Senshi. 21 years old, like you were saying, he's come up through the Kyokushin Senshi system.
Yeah.
Now doing pro kickboxing. He's cool as hell.
But I feel he's another one. He needs to develop some power.
Yeah, I know.
He's dodging around, throws a few flashy kicks and stuff, but it's so difficult because you feel that some of these guys, they need to plant themselves to throw that power shot.
Yeah.
But in kickboxing like this, if you plant yourself, you're open to taking that low kick. It's a difficult one to work out.
He's got a ton of composure because he was getting hit a lot and he no-sells everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you can hit him with a bunch of bricks. He's going to look like he just woke up.
Yeah. But those guys from those regions, Kazakhstan, Dagestan, and wherever.
Tough as nails.
Yeah, they're built different, man.
Yeah, sorry, please continue.
So, okay, let's go on. So, our next reserve bout, Fernando Tigre versus David Kinhefner.
Mm-hmm.
Who did, so I had Kinhefner.
I had Tigre in this one, I know. But I saw Ken Hefner in the gym. I heard him hitting pads.
Did I get that wrong?
I think we both picked Tigre, actually.
No, I had Kinhefner. But Tigre won it, did he?
Tigre won it, yeah. So I heard Ken Hefner hitting pads, and all of us, everybody in the gym was working out, and then on one side of the room it sounded like there was thunder suddenly, and I looked, and I went, it's David Ken Hefner. I got the wrong pick here, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of him, but yes. And then we had Jordi Rakelio. He defeated hometown hero Konstantin Stoikov, and both of us picked Stoikov, I believe.
Yeah. I picked Stoikov. He was super confident. He had the crowd behind him.
Yep.
He's got the power.
Yep.
Certainly. But that was an absolute war.
Yes.
And although Stoikov lost, it wasn't a loss. It was certainly a win for Senshi and a win for the fans.
Yep, absolutely. Can't wait to see him fight next.
And Stoikov should go away with his head held high.
Absolutely.
Because he was getting hit, and he kept coming forward. He had blood coming from his mouth. He took an up kick during the fight, which opened his mouth up. There was blood coming from his mouth.
And you know what he did next? Threw back a body shot.
Yeah.
Nothing stopped him.
Yeah.
Kept coming forward.
Yeah. So hats off to the Bulgarian. But, let me take my hat off again to Jordi Raquel from Spain, who did the business. So we both got that one wrong.
Sure did.
I'm making a record here.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We get a
Good grief.
Fights wrong.
So we move on to the next Grand Prix bout, which was Jorge Davila from Spain, and he faced Christian Bayer.
Yep.
And Christian Bayer, who I had.
Yep.
Did you?
Absolutely.
You had Bayer?
Yeah, bad news Bayer all day.
So,
that one. I didn't expect it to be like that.
So that was a quick knockout for Christian Bayer, who looked absolutely incredible. He looked a class above. Looked like a different class
that
fighter.
Was it lookks like he was a fighter coming down from the major leagues to compete with someone like me.
Yeah. Well, not someone that bad, but
no, that's true. No, that's the thing. Of yeah. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah,
Super fight next.
So yeah, I don't want the memory card on the camera to run out of space. So we move on to our first super fight.
Yes, sir.
Of the evening, which was Hirokatsu Miyagi from Japan, who looked in fantastic shape.
Yep.
And thick legs with those big calves.
Yep.
But he's fighting Samo Peche from Slovenia, under 70 kilograms.
Yep.
And I love Samo Peche. And I love Slovenia. And really, it's really.
You have mountains of snow. You have all these things.
Man, I'll tell you the stories one day, but it's got a place in my heart. Trust me.
Yes.
In more ways than one. But I predicted Peche, but Samuel Peche said he was going to knock out Miyagi in the first round.
Yeah.
And it went to the third round.
But he was close to, 30-25 across the board, a dominant victory. This felt like a display fight for Samuel Peche, who I think, even if we picked him to win, I think he did better than expected, knowing that he was going to win. Like this guy, what a performance from this young man.
Great,
right?
absolutely fantastic. But
yes.
the only criticism I'll give Samuel Peche, he fights a little bit with a Thai style. And fighters with a Muay Thai background, for me, fight at one pace. They're fighting at one pace, but in kickboxing like this, you need to be able to change up a gear and change down a gear. And sometimes you need to change up and go bonkers. You smell blood, which he can do, but this fighting Miyagi, he was going at the same pace. He wore him down, he punished him, but you think if he changes up a gear and turns into Mike Tyson for a minute, he can do the business.
And that's also part of the beauty of kickboxing, as it's meant to be a proving sport, a proving ground for striking sports across the board, because Samuel Peche, a Muay Thai fighter, tonight faced a Kyokushin fighter under a neutral ground rules. You know what I mean? Of like, this was the original idea. In K1, we have a Muay Thai fighter against a very traditional Kyokushin fighter, and he Muay Thai'd him out. You know what I mean?
Well, yep. So then we moved on to our the first semi-final in our welterweight Grand Prix, and Rusu faced. Who did he face?
Zhulien Rikov.
Oh, Zhulien Rikov. Yeah, I can't read my own writing.
This one went to the extension round. What a war this was!
And it was a 3-round war. Yeah. And at the end of the 3 rounds, I thought Rikov had it. But the judges said an extra round. And I don't think that was a bad thing to do. It was bad for both fighters. And unfortunate for Rikov, who went through to the final. But in the 4th round, it was still close.
Yes.
And Rusu, hats off to him again.
Yes.
Tough as old boots.
Nothing stops this man.
Yeah, he couldn't be stopped, and doing press-ups at the end of the fight in the ring.
This was the crowd. This was when the audience came alive in there. And this is why we're doing the post-fight talk here, because they blew the roof off the place. We were recording, like, unreal that moment.
Yeah, that's probably the loudest. And we're getting better and better every time. But that's the loudest and most enthusiastic that a SENSHI crowd has been.
It felt like they were competing in the fight. They were a character in the fight.
But they were loving it. They were on their feet. Yeah, and
that was a good one.
Going crazy. So Rikov won that fight and moved ahead to the final. So we didn't have a prediction for that, because that was a semi-final. So we moved on to the next semi-final, and that was Christian Bayer versus Requejo.
Requejo came into this bout. Did he come in with a prior injury, or from an earlier fight? Because those legs didn't take.
Well, he'd taken some calf kicks in a previous fight, and he was marked up. And the calf kicks tonight had a profound effect on several fighters. But Bayer finished that one in quick.
I think it was less
quick fashion. So Bayer moved forward to the final, having fought less than 4 minutes.
Yes. Unbelievable. This guy, again, he didn't break a sweat, because you saw him, getting his hand raised.
Yeah.
He looked like he just walked.
Yeah. He was smiling and went back to the changing rooms for a little rest and a cigar before he went through to the final. So then we went through our next super fight, which was Haralampos Dikas versus Dejan Dimitrov. And I had Dimitrov. I picked Dimitrov for that one.
Look, I don't know about the prediction, but this fight, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I think this was a new record for strikes thrown in a fight. This was,
well, Dikas really did surprise me.
This was bananas.
But who I forget who won it. Dimitrov.
I have Dikas written here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it went to the extension round, and he kept getting kneed in the head, and he just kept marching forward.
Yeah, but actually that one, if you listen to the commentary, I wondered what the judges had been watching. That was a very controversial
Yes.
decision. I'm not a judge, but watch it for yourself, guys.
Well, that was when we had some other people turn to us and start asking about how kickboxing is judged, whether or not it is volume or whether it's damage. And everybody who's a kickboxing expert went, well, it's a little of this, a little of that. It's not that simple.
Well, it's yeah. We can break it down.
But it's a must-watch fight.
But
You could watch these two guys knee each other in the head all day.
I think so. We got that wrong, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
So listen, if you want to score a fight, it's not like Muay Thai. A K1 or a KWU full contact fight, it's the fighter who is aggressively and effectively pushing a fight towards a finish. And you have to be causing damage and landing effective strikes while coming forward or being aggressive. You can't win a fight on the back foot and keep landing jabs if your opponent is coming forward, because that's not what we want. We want aggressive, effective action. So it's it's quite simple. But then when you've got both fighters doing the same thing, it becomes a bit difficult to separate.
It was an amazing fight, though. These guys were tough
Yeah.
as nails.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So then we went on to our third place contest, which is an unusual thing.
Wait, we had the reserve bout. Fighters had to fight
Yeah,
for third place?
Correct.
So we had Aibak Aminov take on Fernando Tigre.
oh, he fought Russo, didn't he?
And then he won and was able to fight Russo because Jorge had dropped out due to a cut. Sorry, Jordi had dropped out due to a cut.
Oh,
Wait, what am I trying to say? Jordi dropped out due to a cut
yeah.
because he would have gone to the third place. And then they had two reserve fighters, and the winner of the reserve fight would then fight for third place, filling in for Jordi. Look, I was also trying to talk to a few guys at that point, and I don't think they had planned ahead as to what was going to happen.
No plan.
No plan, that's what I thought. That's what I was picking up.
The plan was different.
Yeah, the plan was different.
Not the scenario.
Yeah.
Not the scenario.
Oh,
So they kind of went off script. So we had Aibak Aminov and Fernando Tigre, majority decision,
oh yeah,
which was, again, another war. Great fight there.
yeah.
And then we get to the heavyweight fight. Go ahead.
Okay, so our third and last super fight, which was our heavyweights. Francesco Zhaya from Albania faced Yanis Stoforidis from Greece. Now, yeah, Francesco Zhaya, who I picked
Good job.
for this contest. Did you have Stoforidis?
I sure did.
You did,
But-
and you weren't the only one.
Oh, he was tough as nails. He comes in with a size advantage, but Jair, coming from the gym of Saeed El Badoui, really showed the strength of Dutch-style kickboxing. Tight combinations, constant pressure. He looked like a world beater out.
But here's the thing. This contest was the battle of the calf kicks. And I think, well, I don't think, I know it took away from the action. They both obviously trained kicking the lower limbs. Francesco Zhaya was trying to attack the inside of Stoforidis' shin, and Stoforidis was attacking the outside of the lead leg of Zhaya, and they became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And I think they've trained it so much that Stoforidis, who's got heavy hands,
Yep.
forgot how to punch.
We thought this would be a first-round knockout, but both guys ended up being quite tactical throughout the entire fight.
Yeah, chasing punishment of the shins. But anyway,
Good fight. And then we go to-
I called it. Francesco Zhaya won.
I was wrong on that one. Well done, well done, well done. Go ahead there, third place, sir.
So that brings us to the SENSHI 30 welterweight Grand Prix final. And if you want icing on the cake, this was it. So Christian Bayer, who'd literally knocked out his two opponents to get to the final, for only 4 minutes, faced Zhulien Rikov, 19 years of age, who'd gone through 2 absolute wars and fought 7 rounds to get to the final. Bruised, battered, but not beaten, turns up in the ring and actually had an expression on his face of a warrior. He had this. He breathed in, and I mean, I'm emotional
Yeah.
talking about it now. When you see such a young man with such determination and a warrior spirit, it gets you right here.
And this is what kickboxing is all about. This is a home country hero taking a major Grand Prix after a war. The only thing he had left, like you said, battered, bruised, he only had willpower pushing him through this. This was a Bulgarian lion.
Well,
moment.
willpower and heart
Yep.
can only take you so far without the necessary preparation.
Yeah.
So you have to give credit when somebody performs like that. The coach, who's often in the shadows, has to get a pat on the back for the preparation. But Zhulien Rikov, at just 19 years of age, regardless of his preparation, has to understand that he's got the DNA to become an absolute superstar.
Yep.
So,
With a fighting style like that, with how tough he is, like he is a must-watch fighter from.
well, he's only going to get better.
That's right.
He's only, as long as he doesn't get injured and trains and recovers cleverly and has correct nutrition and is looked after and doesn't go and try and fight Buakaw or something like that
That's actually not a bad fight.
in his next fight. But who knows? Who knows? But, you know, show him the money.
Yeah.
But so listen, let's just go back because I'm just adding this up. I don't want to, but it looks like you beat me by one fight.
No, I didn't. Come on,
you
get
did.
out of town.
No, hang on.
No, that's not right.
It was a draw.
There's no way. Come on, get out of here.
It was a draw.
No way.
It was a draw.
Yeah.
So,
oh, that's kind.
Man,
Thank you.
I thought I lost that, so so we don't owe each other any money. But guys, if you didn't see this show, if you're just watching this video, kwusenshi.com, you can watch the event again, or on the Senshi YouTube channel. Tim,
Yes, sir.
Senshi, I've been here for 3 years now.
Yes, sir.
When I came, I knew it had potential, but I've worked on events all around the world.
Yep.
I've had promise after promise after promise. I've had rich guy after rich guy after rich guy pumping money into events, and then they just die. There's people with big budgets and no idea, but Senshi seems to have a big budget with a huge plan. And Senshi is not just a business. Fighters are not just a number. Everybody's treated like a champion. All the staff, we've got a huge team here working relentlessly. I don't know what the time is now. It's past midnight.
Yeah, we're almost probably 2 a.m. now.
Yeah, but the energy here is absolutely incredible.
It's a labor of love, and these fighters come from all over the world.
It's almost like we've got a duty to give back to the martial arts world and the martial arts community and bring back some respect, bring back sportsmanship, get rid of all this trash talking, vulgar behavior, and anti-heroes, create some role models for the youngsters and the up-and-coming generations, and come and see me if you don't like what I'm saying. I'm easy to find. No, I mean it. You know, all of this, the weigh-ins and trash talking, yeah, it gets a little spicy, and it's WWE, but it's tiring, it's boring, its time has gone.
Yeah.
Go back to the golden era of K1, and it was all about the fights.
And that's the wild part, is that these guys are so respectful to one another before and after the fight. But during the fight, they go to war against one another.
Yeah.
No one's trash talking, no one's beefing with each other, no one's insulting their mothers or anything like that. They just wake up, roll out of bed, and go to war against one another. And they're doing it in front of the idols that they watched growing up. Like, how many fighters have we talked to who say, Ernesto Hoost gave me a trophy? That changes your life. That changes your perspective on what you can do in a career.
Yeah, they're not just here to fight as well. It's funny because if you're fighting in front of these legends, Albert Kraus, Andy Sauer, Semi Shield, blah blah blah, and Ray Sefo was here as well. When you're fighting in front of these guys, you feel like you've got something to prove, not just to win, but to show them who you are and what you're about. So the whole package of Senshi is incredible. Every single show is getting better, and I'm not biased. I'm not just saying this because I work for Senshi. I'm here in Bulgaria every single month, and I want to come here even more. Too much Senshi is never enough.
It's true. We were talking about real estate the other day. We were going to buy a place, you and I.
Oh well, let's go. But I've got to invest in oil at the moment.
Let's do it. That's
you know,
the next
you
thing.
have a look at if you want some advice, invest in oil because you know. I can explain why.
Let's go to our next podcast, the geopolitical. yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're going off track now, but this was Senshi 30. That's Tim Wheaton from Beyond Kickboxing. I'm Grant Waterman from Senshi and around the world, and we'll see you next time here at Senshi 31.